Excel, you probably already have a hint as to why we've moved to an automated commission system. But really, the primary business driver has been we continue to scale as a sales organization. We've more than doubled the number of people on comp plans in the last year. And as many of you know, we actually enhanced the comp plan this year to make sure that you could maximize your earnings and have that overachievement with your acceleration. That causes some complexity in the administration of commissions. And with this new automated tool, XACTLY, all of that becomes streamlined. So at the end of the day, our role here in sales operations is to provide you with automation so that you in the field can be out spending more time in front of your customers and in front of your partners. Less time figuring out how you're going to get paid and feeling confidence every month and every day in the accuracy of your payments. At the end of the day, we want our field team to maximize your earning potential and just exploit that comp plan. So thank you very much to Lisa Kolstad, who's joining us today from XACTLY, Jamie Oswald, one of the key members of our sales compensation team, to answer questions that you might have, and look forward to getting everybody turned on in the system and having you have access to your commissions data every day at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time. So thank you. With that, I'll turn it over to Lisa to get started. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much. So before we get started, we'll start off with a few frequently asked questions. So the first is, when will you receive login access to the application? You will be able to log on after the training within the next few business days. What data will be in and sent when you log in? You will see some aggregate data for credit and comp pay that's year to date. And then finally, how often will orders be uploaded into the system? Daily. And we let you know this so that you know to be logging in on a relatively frequent basis to check the data that's coming into the system. So the goals of this morning, we will go over how to access the application. We will review the basic functionality of Incent, as well as the Sales Pod dashboards and the My Incentives tab. For managers, we will go over the reporting capabilities under the My Team tab. And then finally, we are going to review a commission estimator tool called Incentive Estimator. You have the ability to forecast what your potential earnings may be using this tool in real time. So once your account has been activated, you'll receive an email that looks identical to this. You can see in the second orange box below that this contains your username. Your username is your full email address, and it is case sensitive. The link just below that says click here to set your password will take you to a page that looks like this. And here you can enter a password and then click Save Password. Upon clicking Save Password, you will be launched into the application. One thing to note is this link is a one-time use link, so you will need to fill out this page in its entirety before closing the window. So you can see we have basic password requirements, and we do want to highlight the last bullet here, which is our supported browsers. So currently we are certified with Firefox versions 18, 20, and up to 26, as well as Internet Explorer versions 8, 9, and 10. So you may note that Google Chrome and Apple Safari are both not certified with Incent. So please use Firefox and Internet Explorer when accessing Incent. So we have some additional browser settings that you will need to go in and make adjustments for. So the first is adding XACTLY to your trusted site through your Internet options. Next, we need you to enable the override automatic cookie handling. Next to this, we have a trusted sites pop-up that you will need to enable. And then finally, you'll need to add your IP address in Salesforce. So you will have these for your reference so you can continue to make edits to your browsers. So you will be logging on through our corporate website, which is www.exactlycorp.com. In the upper right-hand corner, we have a customer login link, and this will take you to a page to enter your username and password. Once you click Login, you'll be launched into Incent. Additionally, you will be able to log on through Salesforce.com. So you will have a tab on your Salesforce dashboard that says Incent, and you can go ahead and access the application directly from that tab. If your tab still needs to be added to your dashboard, you can simply click the plus button next to your dashboard headers in Salesforce.com. You want to select Customize My Tab, and then you want to select Incent from available tabs and then move it over to the selected tabs. So from here and pressing Save, you'll be able to see the Incent tab on your Salesforce dashboard so you can log in directly from here. Additionally, your administrators have enabled the mobile feature for Incent. So if you have an iPhone or an iPad, you can access some summary data sets through our free apps. So specifically, you will be able to see our commissions estimator tool, so you can continue to make estimations on the fly of what you could potentially earn based on a specific deal. Next to that, you'll be able to see your incentive statement. So your incentive statement will show you your quota, as well as your percentage of attainment for those quotas, and then finally a breakdown of your payments by the month and the year. Finally, we have some ranking pods. So you will see that you will be ranked against other individuals that are associated to your quota. By using by these pods, you will be able to see as well on the mobile feature. So don't worry if you do not have an iPhone or an iPad, we still have a way for you to access on your mobile device or tablet. By navigating to our mobile website, which is www.exactlycorp.com/mobile, you will be able to access our similar mobile website. So by entering your username and password from the similar login screen, you'll be launched into the application with your summary data sets. So with that, that actually takes us to the rest of the presentation. If you take a look here, we're now going to take a look at the app itself. So the users that we're going to take a look at are for demo purposes only. So just keep in mind that you will be able to see your own data sets when you log in. So this screen here that you see, this is called your default dashboard. Specifically, this dashboard has a name of Plan Incentives. These 4 rectangular areas that you see here are all called pods. They're all showing you summary data of what you can find within the application itself. So let's start with the pod overview first. You can see that the title of the pod is being displayed in the upper left. And if the pod is displaying data, the period that's being displayed is listed just below. On the right-hand side, we have a question mark button as well as a double arrow button. If at any time you need additional help as to what the pod is displaying, you can click that question mark button and some additional help text will appear for you. Additionally, we have a double arrow button, and by clicking this will expand the pod to take up the entire dashboard, and clicking it again will put it back in its original spot. So now let's take a look at each of these pods individually. So starting out with the messages pod, you can see that we have 2 types of messages. So the first is My Messages and the second is Exactly Administrator Messages. There will be a way, and we'll talk about this in just a little bit, a way for you to initiate disputes within the system. So let's say you find errors, you have a way to report these errors directly in the system. So any of these errors that are sent, any of these messages, that are sent to you will appear in the My Messages pod. So we'll expand on the Messages pod here in a second, but essentially think of it like your inbox. Your administrators have the ability to send messages as well to the entire sales organization through this pod. Next, let's take a look at your current year credits by period pod. You can see the data is being displayed for 2014. You can see that we have some data in August, and by hovering over this graph, I can see the exact amount that is being displayed. On the right-hand side, I have 3 navigation buttons. So you'll see our question mark and our double arrow button, but then you'll also see an additional gear. When we click on this gear, it will allow you to adjust and change the unit type that's being displayed. Next to this, we have the Search Orders and Payments pod. This will allow you to search for any order or payment directly in the system. So payments are going to consist of a total of your commissions and your bonuses. So once we enter some search criteria in the search box and press Go, the pod is going to expand and populate with the data based on our search credentials. So you can see on the left-hand side that we have the ability to make additional searches through the search box. And just below this, we have the ability to filter our results. So we can filter our results by process orders, credits, commissions, bonuses, and payments. Next to this, we have our line item detail that came up from our search. And just above the line item detail, you can see that we have a download button. This will allow you to download the orders that you see or the search results that you see listed below. Next to this, we have a View Incentive Statement button, and this will take you directly to the incentive statement portion of the application. We will get to the incentive statement here actually in just a few minutes. So I'm going to click the double arrow button and put that pod back in its spot. And now we'll take a look at our last pod, which is our current year credits by type. This pod is going to give you a breakdown of your credits by type. So you can see, you can view this specific chart to see the exact amounts that are being displayed. And then additionally, you can hover over any of these graphs as well. So your administrators have enabled a few other pods for you to utilize. So you can create a custom dashboard to see more summary data sets. In the upper left-hand corner next to our plan incentives dashboard name, you can see that we have an arrow pointing down. Once we click that arrow, we are then prompted to add a user dashboard. So once I select that button, now it's going to take me to a page with a list of all of the pods. So my first requirement is I need to give my dashboard a name. And then next to that, I need to select some pods. So I'm going to go ahead and select a few different pods for us to take a look at. And you can see once we've selected 4 pods, now the Add button is removed. And that's because you can have up to 4 pods per dashboard and up to 4 custom dashboards. So once you've made the selections that you're looking for, in the upper right-hand corner, you can click the I'm Done button. So now you can see that our dashboard is now generated. I have the ability to make additional edits. I can move these pods around by clicking on the header and then dragging them to the place that I want them to be. In the upper right-hand corner, you can see that we have some additional navigation buttons. The first is a Manage Content button, and that will take you back to a list of all of the pods. If at any time you want a preview of what that pod is going to look like, simply click the Show Preview button, and a miniature version of that pod will appear here on the right-hand side. Next to this, we have an Undo My Changes, a Delete My Dashboard, and a Save My Changes button. So all of these pods are serving the purpose to provide you summary data at a quick glance. All of this data that's being displayed, you can find in detail directly on your incentive statement. So now let's move into the My Incentives tab and the 3 reports that you have available to you. We have the incentive statement, the incentive details report, and the plan summary report. But let's start off by taking a look at our incentive statement. So you can see in the upper left that we have the ability to filter through by year. And then next to this, we can filter through by specific period. I mentioned before that you will have the ability to initiate a dispute directly from within the system. So just to the right of this drop-down, you see that we have a button that says Submit Inquiry. Once we click this button, a pop-up is going to appear, and the subject line is automatically going to populate to the area of the app that we're in. You can enter your dispute here in the description section, And then when we click the ellipse in the 2 lines, we will be prompted to select any user in the system that has a user record. So to note here, no outside emails will be sent. This is where the messages pod comes into play. All of your inquiries that you send or receive can be located in the messages pod. So you will need to be logging in to see if a message has been sent directly to you. Next to this, we have a button that says View Excel. This will allow you to download the details that you see here as an Excel. Keeping your eyes on the same line and all the way to the right, you can see that we have a View PDF button. So here we have the ability to download the incentive statement in a PDF formatted file. Just below this, we have our basic person and plane components listed here at the top. You can always verify that you're logged into the right account by taking a look at the name line at the top. Just below, in our incentive summary section, we have the ability to see 2 charts. So the first is a chart that will show us our level of attainment by percent. So using this drop-down menu, I have the ability to select any of the quotas that I am associated with to see my level of attainment. So once I select that quota, my gear is going to change, and I can also hover over the dial to see the exact amount that's being displayed. Next to this, we have our payments for the year. So you can see the data is broken down by Q1, 2, 3, 4. I can hover over these graphs, and now I can see the data that's being displayed. So I can see that this is showing me my payments for August, as well as Q1 and the total and the year. So as more data gets added into the system, you will be able to, this chart will continue to populate. Each of the different months will be noted by different colors, so you will be able to reference those that way. But again, this is just a summary section, and everything can still be found in the details of our incentive statement. So looking at the top section, we have your quotas. This is going to give you a list of all of your quotas that you are associated with in the system. You will also be able to take a look at your different quota values, either by month, quarter, or year. And then additionally, we have the ability to drill into these specific quarters. So if I click on the double orange chevron next to any of these quarter headers, I can expand the quarters to see the exact amounts that are being displayed. So moving just below, now let's get into the last parts of our incentive statement. So you can see that the rest of the statement is broken down into your orders, your credits, your commissions, and your payments. Starting in the Your Orders section, you can see that our orders are broken up into our types of orders that we have. This user has a new types of orders and renewal orders. For all of these values that you see here that are not $0, you can see that they are actually underlined, and this is letting us know that these are in fact hyperlinks. We have the ability to drill into these details here to see what makes up these specific orders. But we'll get into that here in just another second. Let's take a look at the Your Credits section. This is going to be a breakdown of all of your specific credit types. So you can see how many credits that you have earned based on the different types. So again, we can drill into these details to see what makes up these values. The order item code that's listed here is going to be this order's Salesforce ID. Now looking at the details, you see since we've selected an individual order at the top, now the order details are going to be listed just below. The farther right that I scroll, I will be able to see more of the custom fields and additional data needed for this order. If I want to take a look at the amount of commission that I've earned off of this order, in the lower left-hand corner, I want to select the Commissions tab. And this will generate my commission. So here I can see the amount of commission that I've earned, the rate at which it was calculated against the original credit amount. So again, you might have noticed that we have an additional button here next to the close button that says Submit Inquiry. So we have the ability to submit an inquiry directly from this screen here. So once I click this Submit Inquiry button, you will see that this pop-up appears here. And this pop-up, you can see now, again, is showing us the subject line is automatically populating to the area of the app that we're in. And then now just below, the description section is populating based on the order that we have selected. So all you would need to do here is enter your dispute and then select who the inquiry should go to and press send. That person will have all the information they need related to that inquiry about that order. So just as we can drill into the credit section, we can also drill into the commission section. This sort of works in the opposite manner. So I can click on the commission and click on the original commission amount. And then in the lower left, if I want to take a look at the credit and where this came from, I can select that, and now I can see my original credit order. Finally, we have the Your Payments section. To get the total of your payments are going to be a sum of your commissions and your bonuses. So if we take a look here in August and we add vertically the amount of commissions, it's going to be our total here that we see in our payments. So you may notice as well that this is also being listed as total pending. Think about it as pending equals no spending. This period has not been finalized by your administrators, so this number could potentially increase or decrease based on more orders being added to the system, adjustments, things like that. So once this period has been finalized and your administrators are ready to roll out your paychecks, these will be changed from a line from released, and then they will be read as, they will change from pending, and then now will be shown as total released. The total released amount is what you will see on your paycheck. Next to this, we're going to take a look at our next report, which is our incentive details report. So this is giving us essentially the same data set as the incentive payment, except that it's from the view of your payment. So it's kind of in the opposite form. Starting in the upper left, you can see that we can filter by period. We can submit an inquiry directly from the screen, or we can download what we see here as an Excel. I have my person and plan components listed at the top, and then just below I have a breakdown of my payments. So some of these column headers do not highlight, and others do. The ones that do, you can right-click on, and then you have the ability to sort your data by ascending or descending. You can lock or unlock a column, and then by hovering over the column section, you can see that you have the ability to make edits to this view that we see here. So you have the ability to add and remove these different columns, and then the report is going to generate here just on the screen. Additionally, you can see that our payment values are underlined and hyperlinked. So when we click on those, we will be able to drill into those payment details. So now, using the drop-down menus, I have the ability, once I select a payment, to view the credits, commissions, and bonuses that are related to that payment. So here you can see that I'm viewing the credits based on the drop-down list. I can switch and view my commissions, and my commissions will generate for me. And then if a bonus was earned, I could select the view bonuses and review that. Finally, under the My Incentives tab, we will take a look at the plan summary report. This is going to give you a breakdown of your specific plan. You can reference this at any time. So the top sections will look very similar. We can filter by year, as well as by period. We can submit an inquiry directly from the screen, and then additionally we can download what we see here. Person and plan components will be listed at the top. And then now just below we have the plan quotas section. In the plan quotas section, this is going to give you a breakdown of the quotas that you are associated with, as well as your different levels of different quota values. Just below we have the commission rate section. So you can see as you increase your level of attainment, the amount of commission, or the amount that your commission is calculated will be increased. So as you move through and increase your levels of attainment, the way that your commissions are calculated can continue to be increased, and we will show you how you can forecast these different values here in the incentive estimator tool. Finally, we have the bonuses section, where here you can view the bonuses that you could potentially earn. So last, let's get into the incentive estimator tool. So from this tool, you have the ability to forecast what you could potentially earn based off of an order. So we have a few required fields. One of them is going to be your incentive days. Next, we're going to need to select a specific order type. And then from here, we can enter some of our values. So I know that based on what I'm entering here, I do not want to have these two fields being calculated. So then now on the right-hand side, in the orange button listed on the right that says Estimate, I want to click that button. And now the system is going to generate what I could potentially earn based on what I've entered. So it's currently pulling in my current level of attainment, so I can see where I'm currently at. And if this order goes through the system, now I can see my change in attainment. Just below, I can see my order details, so I have the specific order amount, as well as the amount of commission that I can earn, which is showing me my estimated earnings. So again, this is a forecasting tool. It is meant to predict what you could potentially earn, but keep in mind it may look just ever so slightly different once you once this order actually does go through the system. It's meant for estimation purposes only. So you could use this tool to see how much you would need to sell in the future in order to get to that next level of commission tier. So to see where your commissions will increase being calculated. So this provides you just the ability to see a lot of different data sets through the reports as well as through the estimator. So with that, I'm actually going to switch over now into our manager view, and we will take a look at the reporting capabilities that managers have under a tab called the My Team tab. So now as this loads here, we want to take a look at the specific tab called the My Team tab. We can see just below here that we have the ability to view 4 different reports. We have a team overview report, a team incentive statement, team incentive details, and a team plan summary report. On the left-hand side, we have the ability to select the month that we would like to view data for, as well as the date. This date field is going to pull in the version of the hierarchy. So think of, for example, that in August, you have 5 people who report to you. Come September, you have a 6th man joining your team. When you toggle through from August or prior to that, you will only be able to see data sets for those 5 team members. Once you switch over into September, you will be able to see that data with that 6th man included. So really what this is allowing you to do is see some historical data sets by selecting the period as well as the hierarchy version. You have the ability to search for a specific individual by using the person or position hierarchy search. Or you can use our organization hierarchy search feature just below. And by clicking on myself, the manager, the report is going to generate for myself as well as my entire team. You can see in the name field that I'm viewing this as myself, the manager. So all of these graphs, I can hover over to see their levels of year-to-date attainment. And then just below, you can see that I have a breakdown of myself as well as my team members. So I can see my year-to-date attainment, my year-to-date credit, year-to-date commissions, bonuses, draws, and then finally my payments. But again, let's imagine that we just want to look for one specific person. So I can search for them by person or position, or I can click the blue arrow next to my name in the organization hierarchy search. From here, a list of all of my subordinates are going to appear. So once I select an individual, now I can see that I am viewing this report from that user's perspective, and then now I can view just this individual's data set. Now let's take a look at the next report that we have, which is the Team Incentive Statements report. So because I've selected Sally on the left-hand side, I now have the ability to review this report from Sally's perspective. I have the same abilities that Sally does within the incentive statement. I can expand any of these values. I can drill into these values as well and get right into the same order detail that my individual rep can. Next to this, I have my Team Incentive Details report. And again, because I've selected Sally on the left, we're going to be viewing Sally's Incentive Details report. I can take a look at a breakdown of her payments and drill through her payments just the exact same way that she can. Finally, I have my Team Plan Summary report, and this will take me to, because I've selected Sally, it will take me to Sally's Plan Summary report here now in the Team Plan Summary section. So you can see through this tab that no additional information is being displayed that the individual can't see. It's simply providing managers the visibility to see all of their subordinates' data sets in this one tab. So this, for managers, this is your one stop to view all of your team's data sets. So with that, I will actually turn it back over to the Palo Alto Networks team. If we have any questions, now would be the time to ask.
Okay, thanks, Lisa. A few questions did come in. There's a couple going back to when we were talking about browsers. The first is, what if we use Chrome?
So Google Chrome and Apple Safari are both not certified browsers. You could have some issues rendering some of the pages or utilizing just the buttons to their full functionality. So if you are using Chrome, we recommend that you do switch over to Firefox or Internet Explorer.
Okay, on the same issue, can we use Safari to access SFDC, then connect to Incent?
So you can. You definitely. None of this is going to prevent you from logging in through Chrome or Safari, but you may have issues again using the app to its full functionality. So yes, you will need to still use Firefox and Internet Explorer, even if you are logging on through Salesforce. Those are two certified browsers. Otherwise, you can use Google Chrome and Apple Safari, but if you do run into errors, just switch back over to Firefox and Internet Explorer, because it's probably a browser issue.
Okay, another question. Is the website XACTLYcorp.com/mobile? Do you need a username or password?
So that is our mobile website. So that is, you will be logging on through our corporate website if you're logging on through a computer, which is www.exactlycorp.com. But the mobile website is meant for any other devices besides an iPhone or an iPad. So other tablets, other types of Androids or cell phones, if you can access the web, you can log on through the mobile website. And yes, it will prompt you to enter your username and password. You have to always, and unless you're logging on through Salesforce, you have to enter your username and password to see your specific data sets.
Okay, current version of Firefox is 28 or 2.8, 28. When will it be supported?
So our product management team tries to stay current with a lot of the browsers. In our new release, I believe that we will be, in next month, we will be certified with Firefox 27 come April. But we we try to stay current, but the browsers constantly are making new updates and new versions. So usually once we have our monthly releases, then we update some of our browser versions. Sometimes we don't. So you will just need to check our new releases, our new features to see which browser versions are certified.
Okay. Another question, are there plans for a native Android app?
At this time, I do not know. You can still access through the mobile website. We always suggest that if you do have anything else besides an iPhone or an iPad, just bookmark this site, and then you can go back. But I don't have an answer for you for that.
Okay. The username and password to access XACTLY /mobile, the same as the SFBC username and password.
So no, your Salesforce.com username and password is unique to Salesforce. If you will be logging on through the mobile website, you need to activate your, once your account has been activated, you'll need to set your own password. So from there, anytime you're logging on through our website, our mobile website, you will need to enter your own username and password, not Salesforce. Unless you make your Salesforce password and your XACTLY passwords the same, then it will be the same.
Okay. This is a question Abby or Jamie might be able to answer. Are there plans to authenticate users against our Active Directory like Box does?
This is Jamie. I don't know of any plans right now, but we can definitely look into that.
Okay, let's see. Who should I contact to activate username and password?
That would be your administrator. The administrators have the ability to enable your account, but then I think we mentioned that the usernames will all be activated after the training and within the next few business days.
Okay. That is so far it for the questions. Anybody have any additional questions for Lisa? Okay, thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, Jamie. And thank you, everyone, for attending. As a reminder, this presentation will be available on the Learning Center within a day or so in case you need to go back and review something.